Hello, how are we doing? Right, little bit of a quick stream from me. Just because I've got a train to catch in a couple of hours, so it'll be a little bit of a quicker stream, but I had a bit of time, so I thought might as well have a look. I'm going to have a look at Wuchang Fallen Feathers at 8K. I'm still on my 5090. It's going to be an interesting one, because obviously I did have a look at the fact that the game doesn't actually render at native, even at 100%. So I have got Optiscaler in the game, so we can kind of verify that. But I also was curious to see if I'm using DSR, so I want to see if DSR actually like almost overrides the resolution, and I think you could in theory get... I'll show you. It's probably easier if I show you rather than describe it. I need to plug my controller in. Not really a mouse and keyboard type game. But I also have that boss. So I might be able to do that. But you can see here at first tier, I am at 8K, so you can see 7680 by 4320. Got that there. There is no full screen mode on this game. Graphics-wise, I've got it set to 100% render scale here. So it does say at the bottom that that is DLAA. In theory, that should be DLAA, so that should render it at 8K, 768 by 4320. But from what we saw, it was only doing it at 67% of the resolution, so we can confirm that with Optiscaler. But all the graphics are maxed out, so we've got everything set to high and ultra. The UI is a little bit smaller here, just because I am using DSR. I wonder if I can... Is there like a UI scale in this game? I probably would assume there isn't, to make it bigger, but can maybe just be a bit small. Do make sure to drop a like on the stream as well. Helps me out. I'm just going to sort the overlay. And I'll hop into the game. Let's just see if Optiscaler... It does... Optiscaler is there, but it's absolutely tiny, isn't it? So... This at the moment, at least, sitting at about 44 average there, 45. Which is obviously pretty rough, but at 8K, I'd take that. 535 watts on the GPU, memory junction 92 degrees. I know yesterday at 8K we saw like 98. Hopefully it doesn't hit that again. Maxed out usage. CPU actually seems way too high. For 8K, 34%. I'd expect like 10%. What are the controls on this? I forget. What's dodge? That's that. VRAM as well, just under 20 gigs, so that's obviously pretty high. But you would expect it to be pretty high for 8K. Normally it's like 25, to be honest, so... It's not actually terrible. Combat seems like fairly smooth, although it is obviously really low FPS. The lows don't look that bad. 33 FPS, 0.1% low. Looks alright. Although the frame time does look pretty choppy. Oh. upwards of maybe 50. And I think that cave bit back up there, you probably get maybe 50 FPS. Seems like it does want to average between 40, 45 though. It's not too bad, but I do feel... I can't quite see this, but... Yeah, so it looks to me like it is still using... Even at 100% DLAA, so for example, if I come in here... It's going to be really hard to see, but if you maybe pause the stream or video, you'll be able to zoom in on Optiscaler there, but... I'm obviously at DLAA here, so you would expect it to be rendering at 768 by 4320 because I'm obviously at 8K. But like I showed in my video, it's... Let me just... I need to get closer to the screen to actually see that. Yeah, it looks to me like it's rendering at 4K and upscaling to 8K, so it's using DLSS quality here still. But that does mean that if you are at 4K, obviously when you're at 4K, it enforces 67%, so you're rendering at 1440p. But if you use DSR, render over the resolution, you'll have to do it 4 times, but you will then be able to actually render at 4K. So you could override it at 4K. At 8K, the issue is in the Nvidia app, there is no override for the like DLSS quality. In some games, you can actually override it from the driver. So you would have to, I think, use something like Nvidia Profile Inspector or something. That might work. I haven't actually got that on my PC, so I might have to check that another time. Because I'm a little bit short for time today to get that all working. But I would have thought you might be able to override it with that. So that does mean if we were actually rendering at native 8K here, probably would be looking at maybe like 2025. Which, that's obviously pretty rough. And for a game like this, really not ideal. 20 FPS, there it is it. Gav, yo, gaming 85, hello. Finally moved to AM5. What you did? I had... Oh, nice. What, have you got the 9800X 3D? I'll just have a little bit of a run around here, and then I'll try the boss again. Just to get a rough idea. It does seem, in some bits, it does seem to break 50. I'd have thought maybe DLSS quality on. Thought it might maybe be a bit closer to 60, but that does look like pretty rough performance natively. If we're able to hit that, you know, that is going to be like 20 FPS or so. 20, 25. Maybe even slightly worse in some bits. Damn, bro. How do I heal on this? Go there. It's that, isn't it? See, when I use DSR, it really shrinks the overlay. All the like UI elements, it shrinks. Surprised that actually we're not maxed out power. Like 520 watts is obviously really high, but I would expect it to be at like 570. I think if I like go back through this thing, doesn't that? It does work. No. Hopefully can gather some more points together, upgrade the skills. Can you override 67? Probably, but I haven't tried it myself. You can't. You definitely can't with the Nvidia app. It's not supported on this game. You can also override it with DSR as well, but you just can't override 8K with DSR because 8K is the max. So if you were at 4K, you could DSR 8K and it would override. So you'd be rendering at 4K at that point. You'd be on a 4K screen rendering at 4K, but you can't do that at 8K because obviously it doesn't go any higher than that DSR. So you'd need to be one higher to be able to override it, if you see what I mean. So that's a pretty easy option if you're at any other resolution. Just you could use DSR and it'll do it. But to be honest, even pretty low FPS here, really, isn't it? DLSS quality. Some bits dips down to about 40 FPS, so native would be absolutely brutal. Which I'll try and sort out sometime. It's just I don't have anything set up, and I've got to go. This is going to be a shortest stream. I do wonder if the balance presets and stuff will work the same with DSR. They might actually work for me now, because you'll see here, if I go down to 67, there should be, in theory, no difference in the FPS there. Same FPS. And, yeah, still rendering. So that still confirms. I know I did obviously do a video on it, but it looks exactly the same. I thought maybe DSR might enforce, or like that in itself might override. What about balanced? There's weirdly such a small difference between quality and performance as 6%. It just doesn't make sense, does it? See, balanced for me doesn't work either. Look, it's still on quality for me. So that doesn't look like it works either. I wonder actually, can you override with Optiscaler? Quality override. Oh, you can. Let me try that, because that might work. I'm a little bit of a noob with Optiscaler. I have used it before. I don't know if I can make it any bigger either. Let me just see performance and see. In theory, DLSS performance should work really, shouldn't it? Go down to 50. Doesn't look like it's working either. Let me... Yeah, see, that's not working either. So at 4K that worked. So DSR there seems to actually make it more of a problem, because I think we're at obviously such a high resolution, but I'm assuming ultra performance or extreme performance should work, whatever they call it. Put it on 30. Oh my god. It does work, but what the hell? Please select FSR or DLSS. I mean, I have got DLSS on. See, it's just not right. The scaler and like upscaling that I've got DLSS on. The scaler and the upscaling and stuff on this game is completely broken. Like, look at this image. What on earth is that? We had this at 4K, didn't we? The exact same thing. And then it didn't do it at 1440p or 1080p. God, that's really bad. That's actually the worst I think I've ever seen. For like a scaler. I don't even know. That's even worse than when I saw it day one, when it was doing that. What on earth? That is absolutely horrendous. Look at it. I'll actually give you a headache after a couple of minutes. How clear is that on the stream? Yeah, you should be able to see that. God, that's really just so bad. And also kind of incredible that these things have not been fixed yet. I'm going to put it back to 100% and see if I can actually override in Optiscaler. Because there is an option for that. But I don't think there's a... Oh god, look how much better that looks without that fuzziness. You're on a 7600X at the moment. Nice. Until you can Klarna Pay in in 3 months. 7800X 3D. Yeah, to be honest, that's 7800X 3D is not like a bad shout. It's like a good value for that, in my opinion. Like, it's not going to be massively. Obviously, the 9800X 3D is better, but what's the price difference? Because value-wise, obviously the 7800X 3D's going to be better value. So yeah, I think I can override here. Quality override. How do I apply that? I'm going to have to go closer to the screen because I can't really see this. Do I have to apply that? Override a minimum. Auto exposure. I would save. Do I save that? UI scale. Here we go. I can actually make it bigger, which is an absolute lifesaver. There we go. That's still not massively easy to read, but at least that's better. So I've got quality override here, DLAA. I'm not sure. Do I need to apply that? I feel like apply. Apply, save. Override maximum. I feel like that should just work, shouldn't it? Do you think I maybe have to go back to the menu? Log back in, I'll try that. See, because I've got a lot of points to spend. It's not done anything as of yet. It still looks like it's enforcing 67%. Look at an acid trip. Oh, what the fuzziness. Let's let me just boot back in from the go out to the menu, jump back in. And see, so I've got quality override here. What does it say? Lets you override each preset's ratio individually. Note that every game supports every quality preset. So I wonder if I increase this, in theory, that should doesn't do anything though, because I am at DLAA, but it's not changing anything at all. I wonder if you go to quality though. It just feels like it feels like I should be where was this? I don't know where that was. Sharpness, upscale ratio, override ratio. Yeah, I just feel like that should be just... Is this supposed to do something without me actually, like, applying it or something? It just doesn't really do anything, does it? I wonder if I go that. If I just put this to like 2 or something, does it look any different when I actually drop it down? Let's have a look. If I put it on quality. No, it doesn't do anything. Still doesn't do anything. So it's possible, like Nvidia Profile Inspector and stuff, it might not work either, to be honest. I'll have to, when I get back, I've got to go away for work for a couple of days. In like a couple of hours, that's why it's going to be a short stream, but when I'm back, I'll maybe try and see if I can investigate that as well. Because it definitely can't be overridden from the Nvidia app. And it doesn't look like Optiscaler will override it either. DSR will, but it's just not at 8K. That's only going to work at 4K. And there's not really too many other options, because balance doesn't work, performance doesn't work, extreme performance works, but it's not playable. With it looking like that absolute mess that it was. The game is so bugged, it is, isn't it? I thought maybe they'd have done something with it by now. You know, like they'd have patched it or something again. No, I was going to use this sword. Is it the long sword? $7800X is 329. It's 420. Yeah, it's a bit of a deal. It's not really a massive difference between the two, at least in just gaming. It's not going to be like a absurd difference performance-wise. God, look how low his health is. What were the controls, the buttons for this special move? Was it that one? What was the kick? It was L2, wasn't it? Crept up to just over 20 gigs of VRAM now. Obviously, we've got plenty on this, so it's not really a worry, but... Rebar is on, yeah. You can check on with GPU Z as well. But in my BIOS it's on, so... You hate this game. Why is that? What? Because of the like bugs and bugginess? See, we've got the boss. I kind of want to make sure I'm fully healed and all of that, though, really. Nvidia updates, turn it off. Profiles, there any way to turn it on? I don't know, it's on for me. It's on in the BIOS for me, so... Holy smokes. Even GPU Z, yeah, but it's on in my actual BIOS. It's enabled in my BIOS, so... I saw it earlier, I was in the BIOS earlier. What settings am I on? Max. It's all maxed out. It's just running dlss quality, though, even though it's 100%. Let's go back to the first area as well, actually, and see the performance there quick. £144 at 8K on an 8090. I mean, realistically, 8K 144, that's probably even further away than that GPU. On like if we're talking about a brand new game. Because a brand new game of that time when that GPU is out is going to still obviously be insanely demanding. Like, the 5090 isn't even doing 144 Hz at 4K in new games now. Should you go 9800X3D? To be honest, I'm on my third 9800X3D, so as much as it's a great CPU, I feel uncomfortable recommending it because I've had to RMA too. But it's going to depend how much, you know, money you want to spend, really. If it means you can get a better GPU, I'd probably just get the 7800. If you're just gaming, it's going to be cheaper. When will the 592.6 driver released? I don't know, what one's that? Is that the next one? They only just released the driver a couple of days ago. I'm not sure what that number was. Let me look. Yeah, July 31st. That was 580.88. So I doubt there'll be one for a little bit, although to be fair, Nvidia, there's not really any specific schedule, is there, that they do? Sometimes you can get a few, like, fairly quick succession. Sometimes I think it obviously depends the games that are coming out and if there's support for them. And then obviously new GPUs as well. If there's new GPUs, you normally get loads of drivers, don't you? Do they kill your motherboard? It can do, yeah. Or vice versa. The motherboard can kill the CPU. That has been happening. But to be fair, I don't think the 7800X3D... I think that was also kind of happening with that as well. I love the CPUs, but the only CPUs I've ever had to RMA are the 3D ones. I had to RMA my 5800X3D as well. And they're the only CPUs I've ever had to RMA. I've had loads of AMD ones, like non-3D, and I've never had any issues. Never had to RMA like another one, but every 3D CPU I've had to RMA at some point. So, I don't know if that's coincidence or I'm just unlucky. I've just fallen off. That's outrageous. I hate that when that happens. That's so stupid. In Dark Souls games, because I don't really play them, do normally can you fall like that? Oh no, I'm gonna have to go get my stuff because I had loads of points. I'm gonna have to grab that. So yeah, I don't know if it's something to do with 3D CPUs, maybe. Something like, whether it's just motherboards, something goes wrong. Not entirely sure, but... Never had an issue, no. I don't know, maybe I just got unlucky, but it seems odd to me that the only CPUs I've ever had to RMA, they're always 3D ones. Just feel like that's a bit weird. And also that I thought they've been on multiple different motherboards and stuff as well, so I don't think it's a motherboard thing. Don't really know. Like, I've switched motherboards again now on this third one, so fingers crossed it's all right, but. We'll find out. If I disappear again for like 3 weeks without streaming, it's probably because I had to RMA and and I don't have a PC. I said if it happened again, I might get like a 9950X3D or something, because I don't think it happens as much. It's a motherboard fault. It's happened to me on 2 different motherboards, though. Why would, like, multiple motherboards be failing, though? Like, that seems even worse. Oh, no way. Not this thing. Oh, I'm going to lose all my stuff. I don't know what I have to fight that. ASRock. Well, yeah, my 5800X 3D, though, was on an MSI board. And that happened. And admittedly, yeah, one did fault on an ASRock, but I was on the latest BIOS where there was no issue. There was no fault in it, so it shouldn't be doing that. I'm going to have to fight this thing. I don't want to fight that there, though. What a nightmare. That is an absolutely, like, horrendous place. How do I use my, I'm going to fall off again, aren't I? I'm dead. Oh, that's an absolutely outrageous place to be fighting that thing. That's crazy. I didn't realize how low my health was. That, like, when it was hitting me, that just absolutely just... My health disappeared. I'm looking I've lost my stuff now, then, aren't I? Is that a frog? Bad run. Yeah, definitely. But that's why I think it could well be... I don't know. I still feel like it's the 3D CPU issue because when my 5800X 3D went, I had like 3 or 4 AMD CPUs at that time, all in that same board. None of the other CPUs had an issue. I didn't have an issue with any of the CPUs, but the 3D one's the only one that had a problem. So is it a motherboard issue with specifically 3D CPUs? I'm on fire. When you got your 5090, were you worried about the ampage draw? No. The cable's being far worse than the 4090. No, not really. I mean, people had the exact same thing with the 4090, but I had that for years, and I never had any problem whatsoever. Same with my 5090. I've never had a single issue with it. I use an ATX 3.0 cable though, and I did for the 4092. I've never had any issues. So I don't know if the cable you're referring to the adapter, the 4-way adapter, because I don't use that. I used that for a little bit on the 4090. I never had any issues though. But then once I went to the 12-pin ATX 3 cable, I haven't gone back, really. There's no point. This guy's just got absolutely wrecked. See if I can get some more skill points to upgrade this, and then I'll try the boss. I got so close with the boss last time. Only issue is I'll have to do it with this FPS because I say it's probably drop the graphics. See what the FPS is like. Maybe we'll get over 60 if I might try that now actually. See if we can get over 60. Set everything to medium. I know a lot of the time at 8K, even if you switch the graphics settings down, it doesn't really make that much difference. FPS wise, yeah, like look. Basically the same FPS. Low might. Oh, actually, we do have frame generation as well. I'll try that out. Oh, I didn't switch these down. I'll switch it all to low. See if that does... Yeah, there you go, 60. 63, but that's almost definitely going to drop down, I think. That'll still drop on then some of the forest bits, I think. UE5 is really crap. It can be. There's definitely the odd game where I think it's not too bad. What do you think the best Unreal Engine 5 game is? I really like the graphics in Hellblade. Obviously the performance. To be honest, the performance in most Unreal Engine 5 games isn't that amazing. Maybe the finals, it's like okay. It's been a long time since I played that. Obviously Fortnite, it's alright, stuff like that, but... What other games have we got? Black Myth Wukong, which obviously the performance is really low, but the graphics in the game are really good, I think. What other games have we got? RoboCop, that was definitely Unreal Engine 5. Shelton Yule, how's it going? Indiana Jones. Was that Unreal Engine? That wasn't Unreal Engine 5, was it? Hasn't actually dipped below 60 too badly here. Seeing it about 70. I'll go back to Ultra in a sec when we teleport. And we'll try frame generation. Does quite a big stutter there, you're seeing in the frame time. Brought my low down. Just taking about 2 gigs off the VRAM, dropping it to low as well. But you can definitely notice graphics-wise. Definitely doesn't look as good. Are you supposed to be able to get across there? What does this guy say?
I scouted the Shoe Sanctum a few days past. Aside from a deranged towers to the entrance, it seems safe. Rest there.
RoboCop, yeah, that was... Expedition 33, yeah, that was... Performance was quite low in that, wasn't it?
See the Lights End Temple? The way to the Shoe Sanctum lies beside it.
Indiana Jones was Unreal Engine 5, was it? Why do I, for some reason, not think it was?
But be careful. If anyone sees those feathers, they'll definitely strike first and ask questions later. If you encounter danger, don't fight.
Because I don't think it was. Engine, ID Tech 7.
Oh, and
it wasn't Unreal Engine 5.
this bamboo lantern. I found it nearby. Hard to believe such craftsmanship still lingers here. It's a reminder of how vibrant this town was. The fireflies inside, they seem to glow endlessly. A useful light for your path. I've tested it personally.
Stand corrected. Yeah, I didn't think it was. Because from what I remember, that game actually... Obviously, if you have path tracing on it, FPS is really low, but the game itself ran okay in terms of like the frame... The lows and stuff were okay. It wasn't like stuttering all the time or anything. It like actually ran quite smooth. If you could get 60 in it, graphics-wise, it was... Didn't stutter or anything.
Pinwheels along the path. Follow them, and you'll find me.
Is the 5090 worth the jump from the 4090? In my opinion, not so much. If you sell your 4090 and you get a fair bit of money for it, and it's maybe, you know, you have to put a little bit extra in for the 50, like maybe I'd be tempted, but performance-wise, there's not a drastic difference between them. You do, if you have stuff like multi-frame generation on the 5090, which obviously makes the performance gap larger because the 4090 doesn't have that, but if you're comparing just raw performance, there's not really a massive difference between the two. I'm quite excited for the 5080 Super if that is going to be a thing. I feel like that could be quite interesting. Is there a worship thing if I go right to the top? It'd be good to have a look at that view. Switch the graphics back, because even the lighting in here, look. It looks so... It does actually look quite poor at low. Well, keep an eye on that time as well, because I've got to go at like 5. Yeah, look at the difference there between low and extreme graphics-wise. That's actually a massive difference, isn't it? Quite dark in it, though. Valorant switched to UE5, did it? Wasn't Cyberpunk switching to Unreal Engine 5? Weren't they doing a version of it in Unreal Engine 5? How good games look at 8K? I'm using DSR here. So I'm not actually on my 8K monitor, because I was trying to override this weird... I wanted to have a look if you could override... At 4K, you can use DSR to essentially... 100% resolution in this game, DLAA, is actually not DLAA, it's DLSS quality. They override it. But if you're at 4K with DSR, you can DSR to 8K, and then your render will actually be 4K native. Which, if you try to do 4K native on this, you'll end up rendering at 1440p. Because I've just accidentally print screen. That was I can show you real quick. So, for example, DLSS 100% here. It says it's obviously DLAA, but if you actually go and have a look, you can see I'm rendering at 4K here. So this is DLSS quality. DLSS quality essentially is always on. But, like I say, with DSR, you would be able to actually override. You'd set it to 8K in DSR, and then in the game here, it'll obviously still be using DLSS quality, but you'll be at 4K. You'd be at 4K, you'd be rendering at 4K and outputting at 4K. It's just not going to work in that way for 8K, because obviously on DSR, you can't go higher than 8K. For that method to work, so you'd need to... The only thing I haven't tried yet is trying to override with Nvidia like Profile Inspector. Well, I've got a feeling it might not work though, because Optiscaler doesn't work. Optiscaler override doesn't work. Nvidia app override doesn't work on this. So I've got a weird feeling that there's actually... You might have to get really hacky with it. What have we got in here? Teleport to the other place. How many points have I got? Damn, it's annoying I've had to face that thing. And we lost all my points. Performance at 4K is in like actual native or... Actual native 4K on this was like... Oh god, I think it's between like 60 and 70. But the thing is after these patches now, it's really kind of messed up comparisons because... Like I say, day one you could do native, but then as soon as patch 1.3 came out, you couldn't do native anymore. And then the Game Pass one, you could do native for like another couple of days, and then they also patched it in that as well. How many points? We've got 2,000. Let me see if I can just get, maybe purchase one more upgrade or something. And I'll try and face that boss. I was so close last time. Ah, stamina. I'll have to... Oh yeah, we'll put frame generation on as well, actually, when I do the boss. because it's going to be probably a little difficult doing it at 40. At least for me, I'm absolutely horrendous at games like this, bosses. I need all the help I can get. Might be, see if I can get the latency up as well. Top right. Yeah, look at that at the moment. 100 milliseconds of latency, so that's not ideal. Oh, that is absolutely perfect. That's not. Okay, we've got enough points there.
Just you wait.
See what we can buy with that. Optimized games. I think RoboCop actually ran okay, didn't it? I don't know about there is actually a new one, isn't there? Agility. We'll see what it's like with multi-frame generation, because sometimes it doesn't really work that well at 8K. Check it out anyway. So we have an average of about, well, 47. Get frame generation on. Switch it to ×4. There we go. 125, 130. Have you ever seen 130 FPS at 8K? Well, it's dipping down to about 120 there. That is pretty nuts. Seeing that. How does it feel as well? Obviously, visually, it looks quite a bit smoother than when I was at 40 FPS, but feels okay, I think. Doesn't feel like laggy or anything. I think on the stream, it probably will look like 40 FPS still. Because we've seen that before, haven't we? Does it still? Yeah, that still looks like 40 FPS, doesn't it? It's not picking up my generated frames. Obviously, it breaks the frame time and MSI as well. High latency's killer. Yeah, but then also like 40 FPS is also killer. Which, pick your poison. Damn it, bro. Quick save, just so I can get my heals back. Icy, yo. Do make sure to drop a like on the stream as well if you haven't already. I think what I'll do is maybe switch this down to 2 times. So it gives us a little bit over 60. And the latency's not as bad, so it's the best of both, I guess. I did see Battlefield 6, yeah. It does look really good. I'll be playing it on Thursday. Hopefully. I've got to go away for work, but I should be back on Wednesday. If I don't play it Thursday, I'll definitely be playing it Friday, but I do want to play Mafia as well. Okay, that's not worked. It might take me a couple of goes of this just to remember all of his attacks. Because doesn't he become a flaming thing at some point? I could just keep kicking him, couldn't I? That might be the strategy. Why am I not using the spells? I did use the spell. Didn't I? Or is there something else? Is there another spell? This is unreal for me. I've not even been hit yet. This is like unheard of. That is like actually ridiculous. Ridiculous on my part. Absolutely locked in. Come at me, bro. Is this when he gets flamey? Flamey boy. Does that hurt when he does that, if you're close? Oh, actually, I'm going to heal up here. I did get hit, did I? I did take some damage. So I'm lying. To be fair, it'll take a while, won't it, if I just do that? I'm dead. How did I not get hit there? No, what happened? Oh no! Heal! Oh god, I've just... Nah, have I bottled this? I have, I've bottled it. I've gone through so many health things. It was all going so well. It was all going so well. I'm going for it. I'm out of stamina. And I'm out of health. Damn it, if I had one more health here. Yes! Easy! Easy! Have I got to finish him off or something? That's actually exactly how Voldemort died, wasn't it? And he just like evaporated. See, on this stream it looks like I've just done that first time. We'll take that. What's this? Temper. Oh god, he switch weapons. Add stone. Select add effect. What does that do then? Used via tempering to boost weapons fire attack. Alright.
True power in feathering isn't about possessing.
See, for like the first part of that boss, it looked like it was going really well. Which it was, but then it got a bit squeaky towards the end, using all those health packs. I started panicking. Where do we go then? I thought this maybe opened up and you could go through. Did we just have to go back? It looks quite cool with the sort of burnt ground and stuff, doesn't it? Oh, I've seen that before. Is it worth upgrading to from the 4900K to a 9800X 3D? For what? Just gaming? For productivity stuff, no. For gaming, to be honest, I think sometimes it depends what game you play. Some games this is give you more FPS. Other games it's like the same. The sort of biggest benefit is really going to be like the power consumption and stuff. It's obviously going to be much better on this compared to a 4900K. I still have my 4900K. It's in my stream PC. I'd say it's probably, I don't know, I probably wouldn't. I'd wait another CPU gen really before I would change that. Where do we go then? Do we have to go back to that bridge bit, maybe? We can actually upgrade more stuff. Keep upgrading this sword, because I quite like it. Just teleport back. Put it into my quick inventory. How do I do that? I did already put it into my inventory, didn't I? Is that it? That looks like it. I'm thinking maybe go... Can you get across that bridge now or something? Open the big door. What big door? Oh, the door behind. There's a door in that bit, isn't there? There's also a door here, though, isn't there? There is a door here. There's a door over here. Oh, look, this guy. He wasn't here. This guy wasn't here before.
Why did you venture out alone? I warned you against
I can see the mouse on my screen. That's really annoying.
The feathering has not spread, and your movements remain unhindered. No signs of worsening symptoms. Your resilience is remarkable. Well, I shall not press further. If you seek alternative treatments, consider visiting the shoe sanctum.
He wasn't. Was this guy here before? I feel like he wasn't. Does it? Okay. There is another door at the bottom of the steps. There's this weird bit here as well at the bottom of the steps. Look, do you see that? It's happening to me. Yeah, 42. I've noticed that on every GPU I've played, there's a really weird issue. If you teleport to this area and you come just down these stairs, it won't do it now because it's almost like doing shaders or something. But the first time you do it, it really drops FPS there for some reason. Slick Theo! Become a supporter. Thanks, I appreciate it. So there is a door there, but you can't go. Can't go through. No, this is on ×2. Multi-frame generation. Game runs crap on low hardware. I don't think the game runs particularly good. It's deceptive on the higher hardware because they enforce dlss quality. You can't play native anymore, so even on a 5090 native, well, 100% in the game looks like it's running at about, I think it was like 80, 85 FPS, but that's not actually native. If you're a native, it's closer to 60 at 4K. So, although that's acceptable, it's like, it's not particularly great for, you know, 5090. It's not particularly high FPS. Considering this, like, there's no... there's obviously software ray tracing, but... if that was hardware ray tracing, it'd be like 30 FPS. It's this door, isn't it? $50, $70, you got 350 multi-frame generation times. What was that at 1440p, I guess? This is at 8K, so we won't get FPS like that, but I think at 1440p we had about 500 on this. 400 to 500. Okay, so you can't jump over there, can you? I think if you get in the water, you die, don't you? What is that thing? See, I think a lot of people said the graphics were really bad on this. I don't think... they're not like the best graphics I've ever seen, but I don't think they're like too bad. The environments and stuff are quite nice, I think, in my opinion. I think that looks pretty good. You're at 1080p, yeah. That makes sense.
Wow, impressive skills. I didn't even hear you approach. Judging by your attire, I take it
It's using Lumen, yeah. Software ray tracing, yeah.
But just call me Master Nyem. I grew up here, so I know just about everything there is to know in these parts. Got questions? I've got answers. Inside that house over there, there's a kid hiding with a pot on his head. A few days ago, some monks from the temple came searching for him. I could tell right away they were up to no good, so I ran them off. Since when do monks go around stealing things and murdering people? If it wasn't for the villagers' sake, I would have burned that temple down ages ago.
VRAM, yeah. It's a bit high here because we've got frame generation on. It obviously adds a little bit of VRAM. It's not that high though. I've often seen like 25, 26 gig at 8K.
If you're headed to Doomwillow Beach, you'll have to find another.
Maybe even 26, 27 if you have frame generation because that normally adds like a gig.
Why you came all the way here? Have you heard the rumors about the Shu Sanctum? They say the priests there have deep knowledge of medicine. Apparently, they've hidden all sorts of strange things upstairs. Not that any of that interests me. All I care about is finding medicine to heal my brother. He was bitten by the man-eating monster in town and fell severely ill soon after. But who knew there'd be soldiers guarding the place? They tossed me out before I could even explain myself. They stand there like smug watchdogs, blocking anyone.
God, this guy talks a bit, doesn't he?
I told you about the rumors. Could you possibly go up there and grab some elixirs for me? With your skills, it should be a breeze, right?
Agree to help.
Oh, and if you ever find yourself in trouble,
Blow the whistle. This is like a child. Her head is in like a pot. Which way do we go? It's a zombie. This isn't true 8K. No, at the moment we've got DLSS quality and frame generation on. I am to infuse this thing. Was it not that? Temperance. It's like it looks like a small arm in a V shape. Was it that? It's got to be that, temperance. How do I use it though? I won't waste it. It's not that. Which one is it then? It's got to be that V shape. Yes. It is that, is it? Quick menu. Yeah, I've got it in there, bottom right. What way do we want to go here? I don't want to miss. I can hear someone talking. Look at my FPS drop up here. Oh, it's doing that weird laggy thing again.
Ah, no, please don't eat me. No, please don't eat me. I'm just an old bag of bones. I'll only give you indigestion. Oh, you're just a kid. You gave me quite the scare. Oh, you've fallen severely ill, haven't you? Too bad. You're probably done for.
What are my thoughts on the memory junction?
Wanderer, traveling the world,
It's fine. It's fine on this. I'm on a 5090 Founders Edition, so the temps are a little higher anyway. But I'm also at 8K, so all those things together, it's like mostly, even at 4K to be honest, like I'm gonna be like 85 Memory Junction, but it's fine.
How about a short story?
It's because we're also pulling like a lot of power. All those things just combined don't really you'll get better temps on like a custom 5090, but Founders editions are generally like higher.
A long time ago, at this, if you want to know.
Oh my god, is that a panda? What the hell? This is... Oh, is he, this is shop, is it? For some reason I was expecting him to talk, but... It seems bugged. It doesn't really work. Look. I press talk. Oh, there you go. Bye. It doesn't... It's a bit weird, isn't it? So this almost seems a bit like a dead end. I think it's just that shop. Have I thought about undervolting it? I have undervolted it before, yeah, but generally when I test it, I try and leave stuff at like default. Otherwise, it's just a bit... it's just a bit misleading of like what I'm actually getting, if that makes sense. Try and leave most of the stuff at default. By the sword? I don't think I had enough, did I? It's so glitchy. Yeah, I don't have enough. Not enough items. What? I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that item is. That's fair for an accurate. Yeah, I try. I have done it before, but I try and just keep things as default as possible, just because. In some games, like if in the game that I was say using like 570 watts, but I've undervolted it loads, so it's not using that. It kind of, I then get a lot of comments of just why is theirs like running really high, and then it's just a bit easy sometimes to keep it default, and then you can undervolt stuff to make it better. At least we know the sort of baseline, I guess is the best word. We know the baseline, and then yeah, you can overclock or undervolt or whatever to improve things essentially. Kill the birds. Oh yeah, there was that other bird, and I probably could just get him with the sword. The other two I had to use the spell or whatever.
You'd be wiser just to leave. The High Priest's ill and can't save anyone. Look around you. Everyone came for healing, but now, thankfully, that officer showed up right on time to defend us. He even warned us to... And that officer's fought here.
He's giving me something. Big stutter there as well. Little harder to see the stuttering with frame generation on. I wonder if there's a save point anywhere. Someone behind me. Oh god. That's not good. Oh my god, that's really not good. Can I use this special then? Yep, that's not worked. Bruh, chill. Dude, I'm slamming dodge on that. I'm absolutely slamming it. What monitor do I use? At the moment, I'm on a 4K LG Ultra Gear. Should be in the description. I do have an 8K monitor, but I wanted to use the SR on this to see if basically you could override the weird like resolution scaling issue. So yeah, 144 hertz this monitor is. I don't want to try and get an OLED soon, maybe. I might try and get rid of my 1080p 240 and get like a 4K OLED. Whoa! I thought he was finished. Oh, I'm gonna have dropped all my stuff up there, aren't I? The thing is, I'm gonna have to kill that thing, though. Can I quickly run just to try and run up there, grab it. $240, 1440p, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think I'll try and I might try and just get a 4K. Can you get a 4K 240 OLED? Purely because for me it's a bit easier to test, because then if I can get 4K I can just drop down to any resolution under that. I'm going to try and just grab the stuff and run. Where was I? Where's my stuff? Are they fighting up there? What on earth is going on? People just fighting each other. Just want to try and avoid that night.
My door. I finally
Frame generation ×2 is on, yeah.
Tearing things up. You don't seem like no good soul if you ask me. So let me be clear. The bandits have already... They came out of nowhere and took everything that wasn't nailed down. Heartless bastards. Even if you don't harbor any ill intentions, don't expect me to open up.
5K Dell UltraSharp. 5K Dell UltraSharp 8K. What do you mean? How many points have we got? Oh, we didn't actually have that much stuff on me. How'd you get around there? Whoa! Can I explain latency? How to interpret it? Well, obviously, the higher the latency, the latency is the measure between. It's like input latency. So, it's the difference between when you say, for example, press like move forward and it happens in game, like the difference between that, if that makes sense. So obviously the higher the latency, the slower that will be. So I could press dodge here, and there's a 58 millisecond between me pressing it and it happening. But if that was like 500 milliseconds, you would be able to visibly notice that difference, if you see what I mean. There'd be a delay between you pressing it and it happening. It's on the Nvidia. It's just on the Nvidia overlay stats. If you turn Nvidia statistics on in the overlay, it'll probably be enabled by default, that stat. I think it's just called latency, I think. That was a bizarre fight. He was like behind me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you'll be able to see. Yeah, you can see it. This is going to look a bit different because if you switch this on up here, it'll loads of these will be ticked. I just have them unticked. PC latency, but there's loads: system latency, render latency. We should put that on as well, because I wonder if how different that is, render latency. This looks like this breaks all the time though, look at that. Is that a save point? I could really do with a save point. This looks like a boss. FPS has just absolutely disappeared in here. Here we go. Right, I'm going to have to leave it there though, unfortunately. Like I say, it's a bit of a short stream. I've got to, I've got a train to catch. But I'm got to be away for work for the next 3 days, but hopefully next time I'll stream will be on Thursday, and I'll, hopefully it'll be Battlefield 6. It seemed like I have a code for it, but basically you can't preload it until tomorrow, I don't think, which obviously I'm not going to be around. So I'll be able to check on Wednesday, hopefully, if I can preload it. If I can, then I'll do Battlefield 6 Thursday, maybe Mafia Friday. So I think Mafia actually comes out on Thursday, but I think I'd rather check out Battlefield 6 first. Because for some reason, Mafia Online says the 8th of August, but on Steam it says the 7th. Whether maybe that's just for like deluxe edition or something. But I'll check it out. So yeah, have a good rest of your Sunday, and I'll catch you later.